GM. Welcome to what's going to be another fantastic episode of DevNTell. So if you didn't know, DevNTell is a 30-minute podcast held every Friday for founders, hackers, and anyone in between to come on the show and showcase what they built. And today I'm ecstatic to welcome Raghu, who is the co-founder of Rabble. And we might also get a guest appearance from Amruth as well, who's also a co-founder, but we'll see. Stay tuned. If you didn't know, Rabble is a multi-chain Telegram client with a built-in wallet, social feed, and robots to make crypto seamless for billions. If you stick around for today's episode, you'll see Raghu give us an overview of Rabble and how you can get started with it today. All right, let's get into it. GM. Welcome to the show, Raghu. Pleasure to have you on.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me on, Nab. And I've heard so much about this show, and a lot of my friends in VC and venture scouting as such say that they get to learn about a lot of the new products that they come across through your show. So really good to be here.
Oh, wow. Amazing. I love to hear that. Yeah, we love to drop the alpha on this show. So that's fantastic to hear. Yes. So welcome. And I'm really excited to see what you have planned for us today. And Amruth, welcome to the show as well. Hopefully your mic issues have subsided.
You guys need to tell me. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear? Yeah. All right. We're in business. Yeah, this is the way. All right. So welcome to the show, you both. So before we get into the content that you have prepared for us, I like to usually start the show with intros. So would you both like to give an introduction about yourself in case folks aren't familiar?
Sure, I can go first. I think we can be quite certain that folks aren't familiar because not the typical crypto guys. Both Amruth and I, and he'll probably get into his journey as well. We come from the Web 2 world. I've spent all my life with startups from 2011 till now. I started off as a TechCrunch-like platforms journalist. My day job was to write about startups. And then I headed growth for two other SaaS products before getting into crypto. In crypto, and I'll touch a little bit into this in the presentation that we do, our focus as, in general, philosophically has been about helping builders, whether that is hiring talent, getting funded, helping them with other ancillary services that they would need in their founder journey. And to now where we help founders get users has been our story. Rabble itself is venture funded. We have been backed by a lot of ecosystems, including the likes of Polygon and Sui and a few others, as well as a couple of venture funds like Rise Labs and Delta Blockchain Fund and so on. So that's a little bit of a brief. I myself am an engineer who's never done an engineering job. I think I can communicate engineering a lot better than actually build products, and that's why I have Amruth on the team who can probably take it forward from here.
Cool. My journey is also very similar, as Raghu said. I started out in Web 2 startups as founding engineer, jumped through a couple of startups as founding engineer through most of them, ranging from cybersecurity browsers to 3D printing SaaS. And then I wanted to come into Web 3. That's also a funny story where like I was doing comics, so I started selling NFTs, losing money on NFTs. Then I was also a techie, so I was like, okay, let me just go find money where I lost it. So, and tech, we are actually here for the tech, and then I realized it has become a meme after I came into the space. I didn't know it was a meme before that. So yeah, that's my journey.
Excellent.
Amruth is being really humble. He's actually a physicist who became an engineer and dropped out of his PhD program because he thought LARPing wasn't for him. And lo and behold, he joins Web3 where his full-time job is LARPing.
Yeah. It's still faster than academia, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I guess on that front, did you want to get into that a little bit, Amruth? Like how you went from physicist to engineer to Web3 founder? I think that would be a pretty interesting story for folks to hear.
Yeah, so like more than physics, I did my bachelor's in material science. And then I wanted to, so that was my first foray into coding. So I was doing application of AI/ML in material physics. So, and then wanted to do research. Actually, did go and participated in a few research projects. And then I realized I'm not made for academia, can't solve the same problem for 5 to 10 years. And then I realized startups is solving the same problem for more than that. So, but yeah, then then I came back to India, uh, worked as a backend engineer in my first startup, which was a cybersecurity thing. And then I worked there for a couple of years. Then freelanced for a while, did technical advisory roles for a few startups. Then I joined as a founding engineer of my previous startup, which was a SaaS, 3D printing SaaS. Yeah, and then I met Raghu at a common friend's house party, and then we vibed, and then we thought, okay, why not do this together now?
It was my house party. You were at my place when we met.
Well, like we met at multiple house parties, but yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Though.
Nice. So was the house party where Rabble was born, or is that where it started?
No. So we were running Rabble in its previous avatar. It was called Builders Tribe, and our job was to support founders. And I was kind of thinking about what the best way to support founders was. And I think Amrut had some really interesting ideas. And honestly, it would be a cool story to say that we immediately got onto the idea of Rabble, but it's been such an idea maze to get to where we are. So he joined as co-founder, and as we kind of started going into it is when we realized that there are some interesting things to do on Telegram, and that's where it's been a journey is all I can say. All we knew was that, hey, this could be a compatible working relationship, and so far so good, I guess.
Excellent. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I guess this is a great segue to learn about Rabble itself. So Raghu, if you want to bring up your slides, we can get that on the screen here.
Awesome. Let me know if this is showing in the slideshow view, and then I can quickly get started.
Yes, it is.
All right. So Rabble, in a nutshell, if I had to say, it's a consumer crypto experiment built on top of Web2 social graphs. How we got here was, through various, means. But we essentially, the one thing that's been common is like we like to support crypto builders. And that started off as running a talent agency called Lumos Labs that used to do hackathons and accelerators for chains. Then we had a very large community of devs that we used to then redirect to people who wanted to hire them. Along this way, we actually came across a lot of these devs going on to becoming startups. And so we spun off something called Builders Tribe. It's a support organization, and we productized Builders Tribe into this thing called Build.so. Over 3,000 founders found benefit from there, where they got anything from credits right up to VC introductions on one platform. And they were gated by how much progress they showcased on it. But then when what we found out was that the venture world or the founder world is a very 80-20 type of split. Like 20% of the founders actually do 80% comprise of 80% of the value in the space. And those founders mainly wanted one thing, which was users and distribution. They could get network, they could get funding, they could get access to the tools. But the one thing that they struggled with, especially in crypto, was users and distribution. And so we came across a couple of insights. First insight was that crypto, while solving that problem, we found out that crypto really doesn't have a mature growth stack. In Web2 companies, essentially, you can almost break down the acquisition funnel into acquisition, engagement, and retention. And then there were very, very clear-cut practices and tools that existed to do this. You run a couple of ads, you get them onto this lead generation funnel, and then you have a lot of these retention activities that have been tried and tested and optimized to death. That it's almost like any good marketer just knows how to do that. Now in crypto, such a thing doesn't exist. It was very influencer led, and then later on became quest led for acquisition. And I guess the product stickiness in crypto in general has been very, very low. This is obviously, there are exceptions to the case where you have tools like Aave and Morpho, and there's, for a very small cohort of users, they keep coming back to it for years now. But that's the exception to the rule. In general, acquisition, engagement, and distribution and retention as a tool of a stack of tools just didn't exist. The second insight that we learned was that even though crypto users are fragmented, they all live and coordinate on two key Web 2 social graphs, which is Telegram and Twitter. It was quite interesting to see experiments in Lens and Farcaster trying to build their own crypto-facing social graph. Chains, if you think about it, are their own social graph, and block explorers are really beautiful when it comes to visualization, but they don't give you demographic details, and they don't give you preference details. This is the main reason why big distribution actually happened on Twitter and Telegram, and so we kind of doubled down on that region. The third insight that we got was building on top of social graphs are already helping builders go viral. Whether that was a frame, a blink, or mini blinks, not as much because Twitter doesn't like links. But as a concept, it should have worked. But frames and mini apps actually showed that you can drive a lot of users to an app if it is built on top of a social graph. And if you think about it, even the traditional Web 2 platforms like iOS and Android are actually gigantic social graphs. The social graph there is a contact base that is sitting on every mobile phone. Only now, now Apple obviously has nerfed it entirely. But all said and done, if you can build an app on top of a social graph, you can go viral if the app is good enough. The fourth thing that we learned was if you build a client for that specific social graph, you actually have a very powerful thing in hand. And as Amruth would go on to say in the later half of this conversation, it is really, really hard, especially if it is Telegram. And the fifth thing we believe is agents are the real deal, right? I know when you posted this out, we put it out. We reposted it by saying that your agent laps on Twitter and sells you a meme coin. My agent is a multi-chain wizard, and so on. The reason we think that agents are the real deal is because it actually is a very, very strong solution for the fragmentation and bad UX in crypto. And we built a product that actually leverages agents in that sense, and not essentially like this reply guy on Twitter with a wallet attached to it. We'll get to that in a bit. And so all of these came together into Rabble. I will demo this product in a bit, but you can think of Rabble as a crypto app that helps users leverage their Telegram social graph for rewards, and it gives them a way to use these rewards really, really easily. And if it's okay, I can stop this presentation and get to like the demos. But so far so good. Are we good on time?
Yeah, we're excellent. Yeah, right on time.
Awesome. So I'm going to get into two key features. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
All right. So this is Rabble. Rabble is like I said before, a Telegram client. And in that, I mean, it is a fully functional Telegram client. Every feature that Telegram has, we have this here. I know I'm kind of doxing myself and like showcasing all my contacts over here. But then just as an example, if I had to write to Amruth, I'm just going to go and say, hey, what's up? And, he can respond back to me. And the cool thing is because he's also on Rabble, I should be able to send him some money, which will happen in 1 second. If you just give me a minute. Yeah. So where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Yeah. So if I want to send him some money, hopefully the wallet loads up, and then I should be able to send him some money through here. There we go. Pick an asset. Amruth, I kind of don't want to send you more money, but this is good enough. But essentially, just pick an amount, and then I should be able to send it out to him. But then what we also have here is an earn section. This, I think, is the best use of the social graph thing that I've been talking about this whole time. What you see here is that I have a tier assigned to my name, and this tier is built on a score, which actually measures, which is a measure based on the amount of channels that I own, the groups that I'm a part of, my login streak, and if I invite more people, my worthiness score goes up because I'm also growing my social graph in that particular way. Now, how I end up using this is that a product like Minter, who will eventually do a quest with us in a very short time, can actually assign a very cool reward for me based on my tier. The reason they give me a higher reward than say somebody who's C or D is that I can refer more projects to them, and in that sense I'm able to monetize my network on Telegram. And so I need to go here, sign up, claim this code, and share it with friends. And the more friends I share with, the at the end of the quest, I end up getting a higher reward. You'll also see some very interesting things happening on a lot of new chains over here, and in a sense, it's all kind of down to social graph questing. I will be able to use my social graph and quest for products with it, and that would mean and essentially the more people I bring into an ecosystem, which is my own friends, Mintair or any other product for that matter, can actually give us a reward for it really, really well. And now that you've earned this reward, it goes obviously straight to your Rabble wallet. Um, it supports most ETH assets. It also supports Solana and Sui and Aptos more recently. And with any of these assets, you should be able to work with one of our Rabots. Now, what you see here is just a way for us to this Rabot can be thought of like as an agent that does on-chain work for you. And so what you see here is the USDC Aerodrome liquidity pool on Aerodrome, and you can essentially fund liquidity into this pool with just one click. And so how that ends up working is that I can just pick an asset, pick an amount, and then click continue, and it's done. It's deposited liquidity into USDC Aerodrome liquidity pool in just one click. Now, if we do go to the block explorer over here, let me just quickly change the screen that I am sharing. You will actually see that this is a real transaction that has happened where money has gone from my wallet to the Rabot's wallet, and the Rabot essentially takes it to USD, takes it to Uniswap, breaks it into half parts USDC and Aero, and then takes that to the Aerodrome USDC liquidity pool and deposits both the assets. And then withdraw is the same way again. I just click one time and then it comes back out. And so that's essentially what we've built. And the way we see this happening at the end of the day is that as a user, I come in here, do a quest, earn some rewards, and take those rewards and use it in a corresponding Rabot from where I can stay within the ecosystem, earn more points, earn some more interest, and so on. And all of this is built on top of this Telegram social graph. The last thing that I would like to kind of leave is that with every Telegram account that is made on Rabble, linked with Rabble, a wallet corresponding to it, which is completely self-custodial, is generated against it. And eventually, with enough wallets, you would have a number of Rabble wallets that have just organized themselves exactly like your Telegram social graph. And so for anyone who's been banned before on Telegram, which I suppose is a lot of people on the stream right now, you will still be able to talk to your Telegram friends via Rabble wallets at some point of critical mass. And so that's basically what we built. I'll take a pause. If there are any questions that you have, I'm happy to answer them. And then Amruth can get into a little bit more detail about how we did the client building, the social graph questing, as well as Rabots.
Yeah, this is excellent. So if I understood correctly, this is a standalone app that anybody can download and then connect their Telegram account to, and then also on the side have basically be onboarded with a Web3 wallet without them even knowing, correct?
That's correct. And on-ramping money into that would be actually really easy. But ideally, we want people to earn their first crypto through our quests and then get into the ecosystem that way.
Gotcha. And I guess who would be your main target audience for this? Like, would you be targeting developers or like Web3 natives or people who don't really know anything about Web3, but they've heard about these things called like meme coins, for example, and they want to have an easy way to kind of just explore the space?
I think it's this is the hard part about crypto, right? Like it's so many different audience sets, but largely it's a trader and a developer. And as every crypto product does, I think we do target both of them. Right now, we've focused on somebody who has bought a meme coin because their friend has bought it to them and doesn't know that you can actually earn this crypto yourself by actually being a positive participant in a network. I think that's what's missing in crypto in a big way, right? Like most people come in for the speculation, while there is enough and more money to be made by just being a user, right? I don't know if, how many on the stream have gotten a Hyperliquid airdrop or a Pengu airdrop or any one of these things. You got rewarded because you were early to a network and you used it. And instead of going through this nightmarish experience of speculation and losing your money, working with using good products itself is a great way to earn. And so that's the primary audience that we're going after. And anyone who hates the complexity in DeFi, like I don't know if anyone has deposit. The one click thing that I just showed you now is 8 to 15 steps, signatures on if you had to do it by yourself, right? And anyone who's irritated by that experience and also wants to communicate with their friends about the positions that they're taking, that would be cool. We do have plans to open the Rabot architecture out to developers at a later time, where if you have a strategy, if you have like for example, this is one thing that we're working on with a whale, where you can take a whale, deposit it in Sofon, get staked a whale, take staked a whale, deposit it in Deck, and then earn a significant APR on it, which is actually a lot of hoops, which can again be just done by one click. Amrut was just telling me essentially what a Rabot does is the same thing. It takes money from you, takes it to Uniswap, breaks it down into two parts, and then deposits it into a liquidity pool. And so those sort of strategies can be made as simple as drag and drop for traders and developers who want to automate a lot of these complex workflows in one way. So yes, to answer your question, both, but to be specific, someone who doesn't know that you can earn money with crypto by just using products, and someone who's irritated by constantly staying up on weekends and nights, checking their positions on Uniswap and making sure they're not out of range. These are the two guys that we want to primarily target on.
Awesome. And another point, I think you kind of subtly touched on it, but I think it's an important point, is the fact that you had to do like 8 different things to like send money to a person. You guys have abstracted that away, attached it to a known Web2 concept of like just a Telegram user account and attached a wallet to that. And the fact that you were able to just in your chat send Amruth at like 0.1 or whatever ETH, right, without even having to copy paste the wallet, right, which is a lot of folks can attest to this, like a really big pain point, because you have to double check that you copied the right thing, because once you send it, then it's like, that's it, whatever happens.
I took that for granted, like when we said, okay, we'll build this Rabble and we'll have P2P, that was like the first thing that we built out. And the number of people who have come back to us and said, yo man, this probably may be the easiest way to send money because I'm on Telegram all the time anyway. And so, and I don't need to worry about whom I'm sending the money to. And so yeah, it's surprising that the feature that I didn't rate as much is actually something that's being received quite well by a lot of people.
It's the simple things. It's the simple things that people appreciate. So well done on that. Amruth, Raghu mentioned you might want to deep dive in some of the technicals. So please take the stage.
Yeah, I think the biggest blocker was to do this was forking Telegram. So Telegram, as many people don't know, is open source like since ages, and there are a few all Telegram clients out there which have done this, but for AI or like different use cases. So our first blocker when we started doing this was just forking it, understanding that mammoth code base, to be honest, legacy code. And we had to do that across all platforms, web, Android, and iOS. So our iOS is in test flight now, so we are sharing the test flight with friends and family. We have an APK on Android, and web is live. So what Raghu showed you is actually the dev version, which was interesting because it had more features. Obviously, we take things from dev to staging to production. So yeah, and we can double click on how robots are built. We can double click on how the multi-chain wallet works. Like there are many moving parts in Rabble, so I don't know which one to pick. So if you have any specific questions, I can answer.
Yeah, Raghu, did you have any thoughts? I was going to ask, perhaps touching on the robots and how they're built.
Yeah.
I was going to ask
Okay.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So yeah, agents, currently robots are deterministic agents. So this is stage one agent where there are like 10 transactions that you got to do some yield farming or get some API from some place. So the simplest, surprisingly, is an LP bot. Like simpler than that is staking bot, which will do 1 or 2 transactions you can stake. So we thought, okay, that is too easy to do, like won't prove our point. So we started with LP, which has like 8 to 10 transactions depending on the asset you start with. So our eventual aim with Rabots is you hold asset on any chain and you want to do any DeFi thing, be it single click. So if you wanna like Raghu said, go to Kelp, stake something, get something out, go to a lending borrowing pool, lend it and get something USDC and park it somewhere. Like these are like 10 transactions, sometimes involving multiple wallets. You wanna do everything inside with a single click. So architecturally, robots are deterministic agents which batch these transactions using smart accounts on the backend, and we use turnkey uh, as signers because like they're one of the best key management services out there. So agents have their own wallet. So as soon as the agent is funded, it will go do these 12 transactions, and yeah, so that's how architecturally robots are built. But then eventually these will be like, now you go take Solana, bridge it to ETH, do something with it, or we are also thinking something like, I want to send Raghu ETH, but I don't like the gas fees currently. So I can just tell the robot, okay, find the best possible gas in the next 24 hours, send it to him whenever you want when the gas is at the lowest. So the possibilities are endless. These are still deterministic. So our next level robots are gonna be AI, where you can read market data, you can do analysis so that you know what is the best time to find low gas, or you can just go do what AI XPT is doing, just go follow its Twitter and whatever it mentions, go buy it. So that the possibilities are endless. The beauty of this is it happens inside your Telegram, so you don't have to go to any other dApp or install any other wallets.
That's amazing. And is there any alpha you can share on when you expect the AI part of that to be available to the public?
Deterministically, it's very difficult to tell, but I think maybe end of this quarter, yeah, we'll have our first AI bot.
I mean, I don't know of this timeline. He's just sharing it for the first time on your on the podcast,
Yeah.
but I feel like this is going to be fun. Yeah, I guess the other thing that I do want to add on to whatever Amrut said is that I think this building inside Telegram and inside the and using these apps inside Telegram is like a completely unexplored territory. Mini apps are really cool, but the way they are currently built, and we really tried to use the same mini app infrastructure for ETH and Sol and Sui and all the other things. It's just so tightly vertically integrated with Ton that we had to actually come up with our own mini app architecture, which is these robots. But strangely, I think that this is probably several steps better, at least for crypto native things than what robots could have ever been. And so I mean, what mini apps could have ever been. So I'm really quite excited about more people trying this out. And on the topic of alpha, I just have one word to say: Gmonad, and you will know what it is about at a later time.
Ooh, there we go. There we go. Shimonad. If you know, you know.
If you
Uh,
know.
awesome. And you touched on it briefly, but I wanted to ask you directly. For people watching the show today, how can they get started with Rabble? Where can they download the client? You mentioned their mobile apps. What's the best way for people to get started today?
Just head to app.rabble.pro and you can get started with a web client and join our community there, which is stuck to one of the tabs on your menu. And and we are rolling out iOS and Android to close friends and family because it's still got a lot of bugs in it, and so it's in that beta testing phase. But web works flawlessly, and you can actually use it right away. A lot of the first social graph quests are going live on web first, and so for really cool learning opportunities, head over to app.rabble.pro and you can get started right away.
And in terms of socials, if folks have questions for you directly, what's the best way for them to reach out? Would it be inside Rabble?
Inside Rabble, inside the community, obviously, but we are also very active on Twitter. 0x Rabble is our handle, and one of us will. It's usually either me, Amruth, or Kavya, who's our other co-founder, who will respond to you very, very quickly as soon as you message us there.
Amazing. And unfortunately, this brings us to time. But this was a very lovely conversation. And thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show today and give us that amazing overview of Rabble. And folks, you heard Raghu. If you're interested in taking it for the spin, the link to download the client will be on the YouTube description of this stream that you're watching. Just before everybody takes off, I'm going to drop a link to Bit Badges, where you can claim your attendance badge for watching the episode live today. So you'll have an hour or so to be able to claim that. But again, thank you so much for coming on the show, Raghu and Amruth. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. Anytime. And with that, I just want to wish everybody a happy Friday, happy weekend, wherever you may be. And we will catch you back here next week for another episode of DevNTell. All right, all. Cheers.
Yeah.